Hey guys, I'm Lost Templar, and if you're trying to complete the weekly missions to use Loki, to use Mobius, and to get wins, then this is a deck that I would recommend. It's what I've been using. It's very familiar to those you might see on the ladder or in Conquest. There's a few win conditions here that we're going to try and achieve. Loads of cards are here to buff up our hand. Devil Dino is a huge turn 5 or turn 6 play. We have to be a bit careful with Shang-Chi because we're not running armor. The Collector's going to get buffed up huge from cards like Agent 13, Sentinel, Nick Fury, Agent Coulson, and of course Loki. And the alternate game plan is that we Loki a number of cards away in our hand, and then we try and do what the opponent's doing, but cheaper. So let's jump into a few games, and we'll see how we get on with this deck. This is actually my first season where I've managed to get into Infinite, so that's pretty exciting. Okay, so you can see here I'm using the untapped tracker. I recommend using this if you're playing on PC because it is useful, especially to keep track of what your opponents had and played and what you have left in your hand. So on turn 1, we have a decision here because we've got Collector in our hand. So do we want to Collector then Snow Guard or Snow Guard then Collector? With the other cards we've got in our hand, I think here I'm actually going to wait because Snow Guard is a +2 to Collector and we haven't got Loki. So I think we'll hang on here. Bar Sinister is interesting. We have a question of what do we want to put here. We could fill it with copies of the Collector. The problem there is if they have a Shang-Chi, then we're in trouble. They are also running Quinjet, so they're probably running a similar style deck to us. I think for now, we want to get Collect down. The question is where. Now, we definitely don't want to play it in Flintar. I think I'm going to play it into the unrevealed location. Okay. Asgard's not bad for us. Now, Angela is a good card, but we're a little bit stuck as to where we can play it. If we play it in Clintara, it's going to merge into a symbiote. One option we would have is to play Angela and then try and fill this path quite a bit, which is actually quite good. I think I like that play. So I'm going to play the Angela and the Snow Guard here. Snow Guard's good for buffing up our Collector. And then we're trying to get as much power into this Angela before the end of turn 4. We've got one more turn to do that. The alternative that we have is to play the Hawk, which will prevent the Clintar from triggering. Could be good. We have now drawn the Loki as well. We don't have Quinjet on the board, but Loki is still pretty good. Nick Fury's of limited use here because we're only going to be drawing 2 cards, and they won't be discounted because we haven't got Quinjet out. Be nice to win Asgard here. The best way to win Asgard would just be to play Loki on there, which is going to give us 5 points of power from Loki and then another 5 to the Collector, so it boosts us up by 10. Probably wins this. I think that's probably what I'm going to do, and then we'll see what the opponent's got in their hand.
I still believe in heroes.
There's a few lines there. I very rarely play Loki and then regret it. Because of the cost reduction, it usually ends up being pretty good. So we're up turn 4, so now we can play out our Angela. We want to play Angela with Kitty and Jeff, which is nice. We could also play a Silk. Once we've got 2 left. So we're going to get Kitty back to our hand, leaving us at 5. If we played Coulson, we would be full. I'm not sure if that's a problem, to be honest. I'm not sure what we're going to do in Bar Sinister is the problem. What I am actually going to do here is I'm going to undo this. I think maybe our best line is to get Nick Fury down and hope for a good 6-drop. So I think this may be a good line. We'll draw 3 6-drops. I'm pretty happy with. We've got a 1-cost Silk next time. They're Lokiing into us. They've got 5 cards in hand, so that's a little bit scary.
Squad still a little light.
Okay, Tribunal is interesting here, and might even be our best line. So if we play Tribunal in the center, we're going to be getting 9, 18, 36 in the center. So 36, 46, 56, 62, 67, I think. So 67 over 3 or 66 over 3 would be 12? No, 22. So 22 in each location. So the question is that going to be enough to win 2 of the 3? I think we've got to go for it because it's a fun play. So yeah, why not? I mean, what other lines have we actually got here? We don't have any ongoing, so Onslaught's pretty useless. There's not really anything good to Zola. Yeah, I think this is the best we can do, so it's kind of interesting. So I'm pretty sure we'll win the left here. I mean, Silk should trigger and move, right? I'm not sure why it hasn't. Oh, because we've only played 1 card, so it'll move now. And we win the right as well. Nice. Yeah, sweet. So that was a good game. So again, it's surprising. Nick Fury's a surprisingly good card that people are sleeping on. 6 drops are pretty good, and if you're in that situation at the end of the game where you've got a bit, you've built up the lanes already, having a choice of 3 6 drops to put down is pretty strong. So playing Nick Fury on 4 or 5 is never a bad call, I think. Let's delve into one more and we'll see how we get on. The fun with playing Loki decks is that each game is so different. It's very much dependent on who you're playing. When you play Loki, you're suddenly playing a version of their deck. In an ideal world, it's something that synergizes slightly with what you're doing. Okay, so we've got a Nexus game. The opponent snaps straight away. Getting the collector down on Nexus is nice. Because they've snapped, it makes me think that they're obviously playing something with big power. I'm not going to snap back, because I don't have a good turn 1 play, but we'll see what they start doing. It could be maybe Shuri or something. This is also pretty nice. I think I'm going to start with Collector. This deck, even if you just play out a game plan where you're not Lokiing, you generally get the Collector up to a fairly decent number. So we could Coulson, which will get 2 cards in our hand, but I think just pumping up this Angela into the Nexus is going to be a nice way forward. Okay, so we're against Shuri. So just in case they wave, I think we want to get Mobius down. Quinjet's just always a good card to get down. And I'm going to keep using Kitty to keep buffing our Angela. The problem is when Shuri goes off, then you're kind of in trouble, especially on Nexus games. How many cards is this going to give us? We'll get 2 from Coulson, 2 from Snowguard, so we'll be up to 5, plus Loki 6. Sorry, plus Kitty is 6. Okay, yeah, that's fine, and we'll draw 1. Sentry's definitely interesting. Deep is too late. So the other option we have is to turn off Nexus with Snowguard's Hawk, which is something I hadn't really considered, but that could be a good shout. We do have another turn. So I think if we play Leech after the start of turn 6, I don't think it triggers. So if we Hawk now, it will only work until the end of next turn. So we probably want to try and fill the right side, then Sentry, I think, and see how we're looking. Might just bear for the power. Oh, we don't have enough then if we bear. Oh, okay. So we have 5. If we want to get Sentry down, we don't have enough. So I think this time we're going to have to not play the Kitty. But that's okay. Let's stick Sentry down. And then we'll... I think just the bear for pure stats. Yeah, let's go with this. We'll see how it goes. So the problem's going to be if we have enough stats here on the right now. I'm not sure if this was the right play or not. Maybe we should have played more for the right, because we can Hawk, obviously, the Nexus. To be honest, we maybe should have Hawked last... If we'd have Hawked last game, we would have turned off Limbo as well, which is interesting. So whatever happens, we're not going to win the left, because they've just got way too many stats. So the most power we can put in the middle is Fury. And then we might as well stick Kitty Pryde down for ties. 4, 5, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So the question is, can they get 12 on the right? I don't think they... Well, they have played Sauron, so... We're just going to see what happens. Yeah, we good? I think we're good.
Who they dig up this time?
So, why did Snowguard not turn off the Nexus there? Ignore all location abilities till the end of next turn. Unless I'm missing something. That's a bug, right? Us playing Snowguard should have turned off Mojo World and turned off the Nexus. There's no Cosmo to turn it off. Yeah, I think maybe that's a bug. I think that should have triggered. And then we would have won. That's disappointing. Okay, we'll do one more. Hopefully you can see how this deck sort of plays out. The key thing is to use the early turns to buff up your hand, get as many cards in your hand as possible. If you can get Collector down ASAP. Ideally you want Quinjet down as well. This is a really nice hand here. I think I'm going to snap. I'll stick the Quinjet down. I usually like to play on the unrevealed location because there's more locations that benefit you from playing blind than hurt you. Because of the swap, I think I'm going to not do that, because if one of these is a location you can't play to, then it will swap to this. It has a chance at least to swap to this one. So I think we'll get Collected down before Angela. Collected's got a couple of nice variants. This one's nice, I like this a lot. And then I'm a big fan of this one. I like the background with the moon in the background. Okay. So the decision here is between, do we get Angela down? Because it's never bad to get Angela down. Or do we just buff up our hand with Coulson? Because it's turn 4 next time, I think Coulson is the play. It's going to boost up Collector. We can play Fury if we want to. Yeah, I think we'll try this. Yeah. Oh, that's a shame that they played Mobius there. I was going to say a 4-cost Hobgoblin was pretty nice. So we could Shuri. We don't really have much to Shuri. We could Shuri the Devil Dino if we drew it, but we haven't drawn it. If we play Fury, we're only drawing 2 cards. They're not going to be discounted because of Mobius, which is a shame. It could be a Shuri Shuri Fury here. Is that better than doing? It's basically giving us double 5 power. It's not that great. Do we go Angela into Sentinel into? This is giving us 5 plus an extra Sentinel in our hand. You know what? I think I'm just going to Fury for now. See what we're working with our 6 drops. Hey, we got Tribunal again. Yeah, I'm not sure we're winning this one. I mean, they've drawn their Loki and we haven't. Which never feels good. So we've got 5 energy. Give Angela Sentinel, Snow Guard, Hobgoblin. Yeah, I think with the snap we're just getting out of here, to be honest. It doesn't look good for us. They've Loki'd into our cards, which synergize really well with their deck. They're already winning 2 out of 3 locations. We've not really got much here, so yeah, I think we'll retreat. And then because that was a fairly quick one, I'll play one more. Okay, last game. I was going to say, looks like the game's having a bit of problems, but we're in. Okay, so decision between Agent 13 and Kitty. Kitty is now not as good. I mean, you don't get her up to as high a power, so I think it's always Agent 13 here. The question is, do I want to play her into I think I'll play her into a random lane. It's nice that we've got Loki, so buffing up our hand size is going to be good. Okay, that's not ideal. Okay, Collector is nice though. Let me stick Collector in with... Collector might get above 9, so we don't want to give them Shang-Chi value, so I'll put it somewhere else. Okay, that's useful. It's basically undone the problem with the discard. So I think here we're just going to Loki for 4 draws. We'll buff the Collector up a lot. I'm going to stick them both in this middle lane to give us a lane that we're just, you know, very strong in. Or not. Our Collector will get moved over, but that's fine. So, I mean, the Crossbones here is pretty decent, I think. And then we might as well play out the Lizard as well. I think put the Lizard in the middle because they haven't got any cards there, so it's harder for them to fill. Okay, the wave is not super surprising. We do have the Eliath if we want to. Question is, where would they play if they... We want to try and hit them with Eliath, and I don't think it's super obvious, so I don't think we can necessarily Eliath here. I think our best play is probably Coulson. I'm just going to stick it on the left. And they doomed. So this is pretty nice. I think we're pretty much guaranteed to win the left if we just play any card either there or a card that will buff up the collector. So the Snow Guard anywhere else will beat anything on the right, sorry, not the left. So then it's one of these other two lanes. I mean, the middle we're pretty strong in. So I think this wins us the game. I don't think there's anything they can do here. Yeah, I think this will guarantee the win. Alternative is to stick a life over here. But I don't think we need to do that. They play Blue Marvel. We got this card from, yeah, Agent Coulson, so this wasn't in their deck. So realistically, it's only if they've got something that can buff up cards that aren't in their hand. Oh, sorry, the cards that are already on the board. And they'd have to specifically play it here. Yeah, I think we're okay here. Oh, they alive before we could alive. I should have prepared for that. Yeah, that was a shame. Fair enough. Live and learn. Okay, well, thanks for checking out me playing this deck. It wasn't super successful, but we had a win or two in there. And I've had a lot more success off stream, so I suggest you check it out and hopefully see you soon.